So we got our first trailer for Fantastic Four First Steps about a week ago. I figured there'd be Super Bowl trailer, so I wanted to wait until after and just make it all one big video, which we ended up getting. We got Thunderbolts, and we'll talk about that in the second part of the video. So we got our first trailer for Fantastic Four, and it's pretty good. It looks like it's going to be fun. We don't see a whole lot in this trailer, actually. We don't see Galactus, really. We get a picture of the back of his head, but that's really it. We don't see the Silver Surfer at all, who we know has been cast in the movie. And we don't see Reed's powers at all. So we don't see his stretching in any way, which is fine. I'm perfectly fine with not seeing everything. I don't want to see everything before the movie comes out, but I really don't want to see everything in the first trailer, right? So that's okay. But the things we did see are what's actually important here, and what we did see looked really good. I really like the look of Ben Grimm, the Thing, and after seeing this trailer, I'm actually kind of convinced on Ebon Moss-Baccarat's performance here. I really do like him in The Bear, but I don't know if I really saw him as the Thing ahead of time. I do trust Marvel's casting. If nothing else, Marvel's casting has been near perfect in every film. They very rarely miss on the casting. But, I don't know, I don't know if I saw him as the Thing while watching The Bear. And honestly, I don't think I do. But watching this trailer, it's working. It's working for me. I really like his interactions with Herbie. A lot of it is CGI, so there's a little less going on there, but I really like his interaction with Herbie when they're making the sauce. I think that's a nice little glimpse into Ben's character. The Human Torch looked pretty good. It's not like the hardest effect in the world. It's just a guy on fire. But it looked pretty good for what it was. Invisible Woman, I do like how it has this lens flare almost effect to it. I like that they're kind of giving her power its own aesthetic so that when you see it on screen, it's not just blending in with a million other, mental powers going on. And like I said, we didn't see Reed's power, which is fine. We will see that probably in that first actual trailer or later down the line. Either way, I'm sure it'll look fine. I trust that they're going to make this look okay. I really like that Vanessa Kirby was the one to do the voiceover for this trailer. She kind of narrates it, and I think that's good because the last couple of movies for the Fantastic Four have really tried to push Reed and to an extent Johnny Storm, and Mr. Fantastic and the Human Torch are obviously the more popular characters from this, right? I mean, Human Torch and the Thing are probably the most popular characters from the Fantastic Four. They're the easiest to kind of just get, and then Reed is incredibly important in a ton of comics, so it's easy to make him the main point of view, right? But I think Invisible Woman's the more important character. She's the one I want to see more of, especially after the last 3 Fantastic Four movies. I think it'll be good to see things more from her point of view, since she's kind of the one that holds the family together, right? She's married to Reed, she's the sister to Johnny Storm, and then she's also best friends with Grimm. She has probably the biggest connection to everyone, where everyone else is kind of tangentially. The connection between Ben and Johnny is vague at best. They're friends. We're not, they are friends, but it's not as deep as a connection as everyone has with Sue. So I think she's a really good point of view character for this movie. I like that we saw some of Galactus, but not a ton of Galactus. We saw the back of his head, and the back looked really good. He's got a nice wear and tear to him. He's kind of beat up, but not like he's been attacked. It just looks like he's been around for a long time. And his size is really big. I know people are complaining about the size, he eats planets. He should not be able to fit in a city. Galactus changes size to kind of fit what's needed for what he's doing. So, if he's eating the planet, yes, he's going to be, size of huge. He's going to be gigantic, right? But that's not what he's doing. He's going into Earth to look for something. So he's kind of shrinking himself to fit in the city, he's looking for something. We saw in another test screen trailer or whatever, I think from D23, where you see him look into the building. He's definitely shrinking his size for what he's doing, and this is something that happens in the comics all the time. Realistically, they just change his size to whatever they feel like it being to fit the narrative that's going on right now, and that's fine. That's okay. We don't need that, right? It doesn't need a huge explanation. He wants to be smaller, he's smaller. He wants to be larger, he's larger. But again, I think the back of Galactus's head looked pretty good for a teaser. I'm not gonna judge it super harshly or anything like that. Like, this is like the first time we're seeing anything really. And to be fair, the last time we saw Galactus, when we saw like the front of his face, very vaguely, we saw like his eyes. That also looked really good. So like between these two shots, I'm perfectly happy with the way Galactus is looking going into the movie. Now when I see it, maybe he looks horrible. Maybe this is going to end up like a MODOK situation. I don't think so, but it's always possible. But right now, I think it looks pretty good. But with all that in mind, I think it's a pretty good teaser. It's not my most hyped movie for the year. It's definitely not more hyped. This is not a better teaser than like the Superman teaser was, at least for me. But also, I'm a little biased. I obviously prefer Superman. But I still am excited for this movie. I obviously will be going to see this movie. And I think it's going to be good. It looks like they are really trying to make a good Fantastic Four movie, which is something we have not had yet. I know there's been a lot of, love going around for the old 2000s Fantastic Four movies, but they're not very good. They're okay at times, but they're not good movies. And like the Josh Trank one, the Fanforstic one, it's not good. It's a bad movie. Horrible movie. Obviously, there was a lot of studio meddling where even the director was like, I don't want to be a part of this, but like, regardless of the reasoning, it's still a bad movie. So hopefully they fix it with this one. Really looking forward to this. Hope for the best. And the only Super Bowl trailer we ended up getting was for Thunderbolts with a asterisk. And it's actually a really good trailer. I'm pleasantly surprised with this movie. I know when they announced it, I really didn't care that much. Like, there's some characters in this that I do like, but I didn't really expect to actually care about this movie that much, but the cast has really come together. Yelena, Bucky, Alexei, and John Walker are all really great characters that have mostly been introduced post-Endgame. They're some of the most fun. The Black Widow movie wasn't great, but Alexei and Yelena were obvious standouts in that movie, and Yelena going on to being Hawkeye really kind of drove like excitement for her. Also, it's Florence Pugh. She's a great actress. Like, we're definitely gonna get more of her, right? Like, there's no way you have that good of an actress playing this role, and you're just like, we don't need more of her. You're gonna get more of her. Like, this seems like something they're going to try to keep around as long as possible. Honestly, you could say the same with Sebastian Stan for Bucky, but Bucky's been around since, Phase 1. So overall, great casting, but I'm not super interested in more Ghost or Taskmaster. Honestly, neither one really worked. The Ghost and Ant-Man and the Wasp was a while ago, so I don't really remember much about her, but also that was not a great movie. I don't love Ant-Man and the Wasp. It's okay at best, but not particularly memorable, and she was not like a super memorable part of the movie. And honestly, the same thing with Taskmaster. Again, coming from the Black Widow movie, but it wasn't very good. Like, I didn't care about this version of the Taskmaster that much, so I could take or leave them. But it's looking like Taskmaster might die, so fingers crossed. I would like that. Sentry here is looking really good. I like his kind of quiet, afraid demeanor, but also he's like foreshadowing people into the ground, which looks really cool. Like, this is actually a pretty menacing shot here. Like, I like this. I want to see more of this. And then, of course, Julia Louis-Dreyfus is playing Val, and like, come on, it's Elaine. Like, I have nothing negative to say about this woman. Like, it's Elaine. I will always be here to watch Elaine do anything. So overall, this movie's actually really come together for me. And this is the second trailer, and the movie's not that far out, so I feel like this is about as much as I want to know about the movie going in. And at this point, this might be my, like, second most excited superhero movie of the year for me. Like, obviously, Superman is my number one. Nothing's going to dethrone that. There's no movie that's going to dethrone that for me. That is everything I need out of this year. But, like, one step under that, at least in superhero movies, is kind of the Thunderbolts now. Like, I'm still excited about Fantastic Four, but I think I'm more excited about this. And, like, I really like the cast for Fantastic Four. Pedro Pascal is great. Eben is great. I don't really know a ton about Vanessa Kirby, but, like, she seems like she's going to be doing good, and I've heard good things. Half of that cast are people I really like. And then John Malkovich is in that movie. Like, I thought that was going to be, like, the Marvel movie I was looking forward to the most this year. It's so much different from everything else that they have. It's in its own universe. It's got its own setting, like, really distinct setting, the 60s style. There's a lot that I really like about that movie. But I'm kind of more excited for this. This just seems way more fun. Now, granted, we don't know a ton about the Fantastic Four movie, so maybe by the end, I'll like that better, or I'll be more excited, like, with a second trailer or something. But at this moment, for what I know about both movies, Thunderbolts is by far my most anticipated Marvel movie right now. I'm actually really excited for this year of Marvel. This is looking like a good year, and that's before we even get to, like, the TV shows and stuff. I mean, Daredevil's going to be good, I'm sure. These movies both look really good. I'm really excited to watch both of them. Thunderbolts a little bit more than Fantastic Four, but either way, I'm really excited for both. And also, you know, Captain America's out in, like, a week. Go watch it. It's probably going to be good. By the time you're watching this, it might actually be out. But at the time of recording, it's out this coming Friday. So, go watch it. It looks like it's going to be really good. Anyway, bye.